Hey guys, welcome back or welcome for the first time to my channel. My name is Marnise Nicole and I'm an acrylic painter. And today I am just hopping on here because I wanted to talk about my artwork. And I had this feeling, it's actually like 10:30 at night right now. And I just had this feeling like I wanted to talk about my art. And specifically, I wanted to talk about this painting right here, which I've tried to talk about, but I never felt like the recordings were like accurately depicting how I feel about this, because this is a painting that I've worked on actively for 10 weeks, almost 11 weeks, but it's finished. Like I finished it. The painting is finished. And that right there is a win. It is a win for me. So I was thinking about it. I'm like, it's almost 2021. I've had such an up and down kind of art journey, and I just want to celebrate that the painting is finished. I signed it. I varnished it. I edged the canvas. Like, there's no going back now. I mean, it's me, so I could very well go back and touch it up. Like, sometimes I do that, but right now, to me, this piece is finished and it conveys something to me, which is something, if you've been following my channel for a little while, hi, this is an artist diary. I make artist diaries to kind of track my art progression, what I'm doing, what I'm feeling, why I'm feeling it, why I'm doing it, that kind of thing. It's like a little video diary, and I appreciate being able to go back and see where I was at, why I was there, kind of get that all together. And so this artist diary is talking about this painting specifically. It's called Stolen Songbird. Putting in some close-up shots, you can see that the main girl is chained to this kind of like elder tree and playing a saxophone and playing kind of these musical notes into the distance, while around her animals look around. There's a bear, there's a fox. Actually, there were supposed to be way more animals, a whale, a owl in the tree, but I kind of stepped away from like overloading the scene, because the scene to me is good. So yeah, this painting, A Stolen Songbird, is pretty big. It's pretty big. It's 24 by 36, if I'm not much mistaken. Maybe 36 by 30. It's a bigger piece, and honestly, I just don't remember the size at this point, because again, I started it so long ago and I can measure it, but like, not right now. We're not doing that right now. But this is a painting that I originally started digitally, and I'll link that up here so you can go back and check out the video if you want. But originally it started off with this sketch. In the middle of the night, I just had this idea for this stolen songbird, this girl chained, and it kind of plays into a series that I'm often considering in the back of my head, Females on Display, kind of a social commentary. I've kind of incorporated it so many different ways, and I talk about that in numerous videos, so I'll just put them down here or put some of them in the cards. But I always kind of feel like kind of exploring the kind of chained feeling, like the locked in feeling, and it could be so many things that could lock you in, career-wise, socially, romantically, so many things like that, right? And in this particular case, I really just wanted to explore, well, if you know you're chained and you know you can't go anywhere, how are you going to behave? In this case, she's only left with one aspect of herself, which is this music. And she could like throw her saxophone off the cliff and not deal with it, or reject it, or like, you know, something strong and like aggressive. But she's actually sorrowfully playing this tune, which I very much vibe with. A saxophone is one of my favorite instruments, and I used to play saxophone for years. I used to play saxophone and I miss it. And so being able to incorporate that was great, especially because this painting really threw me for a loop. It had so many ugly stages, and I used to appreciate the ugly stage. I really did, but working through this piece, I realized I hate the stage and the process I have to go through to get to this kind of finished piece right here. 10 weeks is a long time to work on anything. And I personally struggle with being able to do things consistently. I struggle with that in just all aspects. My brain doesn't really work like that. Like if I had to take vitamins every day for 7 days, without fail, I'm missing at least 2 days, if not more, because not only am I just kind of generally absent-minded for things that I don't give a high priority to, I just will forget because something has excited me and now I have to do that. You know what I mean? So I am very much of a be in the moment, kind of, still very much an introvert. But I like exciting things. I like doing new things. I hate eating leftovers, for example, because it's the same thing from yesterday, if that makes sense. So I started cooking, and this is going off subject, but I started cooking enough for one person for one meal so that I know I don't eat leftovers. Why waste food? You know what I mean? So cooking that way. So that's how my brain works. Like I need new things and new ways to keep myself interested. And so something repetitive or continuously working on something frustrates me. And that is all I felt with this painting for so long. I felt pure frustration because it looks so ugly to me. And I know, artist, you're your own worst critic. I know people liked it in so many different ways, and I was just like, do this, just finish it. A lot of times I struggle with the fact that people compliment my work when I personally think it's awful. And so just to show you, I'm not bugging at this point, like just to show you what this looked like at so many different stages. It looked like this, and then we did this, and then this, and then we kind of stuck here for like 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. We're just here, okay? And all of those stages stalled me. It stalled me. It made me not want to paint. It made me not want to make videos. It made me not want to create because I was surrounded by what I thought was like ugliness. And I want to be surrounded by prettiness. And I want my work to speak and say something. That was the thing. At least with this piece, and what kept me motivated with this piece was that I had an actual statement to make. It had a feeling to play to others. Like I can look at this piece and I can feel the song Careless Whispers, which is by Montel Jordan, his saxophone version of it. It's so beautiful for like a saxophone number. I'll just link that down there, so if you're interested you can hear it. But I imagine that song playing by this girl as she's like serenading the world in such a sad way, you know? And so what kept me motivated throughout this piece was the fact that the idea was strong. And I have struggled with having strong ideas with my art, which we've talked about in various videos, guys. I've been going through it this year, but I think we all have, so that's okay. And I have to accept that. But, you know, the fact that it's done makes me feel so much more accomplished because of all of the ugly I had to get through. And literally, you could apply that to life. You could apply that to this kind of situation that's going on. You can apply that to relationships. You got through the ugly and now it's gorgeous to me. Like now this is the painting. And it took so much to get here. And sometimes I just need to let my work be its work. And that's just something I realized that. So for 2020, I realized that one, I need to give myself some grace with my work. But I also realized that sometimes I just have to fight through the ugly stage because I can get there. That was the whole point. I had this idea in the middle of the night, grabbed my iPad, sketched it out really quickly with my broken little stylus pen that I've been using for so long. And I just got the idea out. And the idea, the point and reference, the original sketch, that idea, it's definitely changed since then. It's definitely developed. Like the original sketch had like a shipwreck at the bottom, kind of explaining away why she was on this cliff and stuck and captured, kind of blending itself to a story. But eventually I just kind of took away any type of reference of reasoning of why she's here, because it's not important how she got there and how she got captured. It's more important of she is here, she is captured, and she's letting you know that she's sad. Like, there's a lot of energy in this piece that I really much appreciate, and it took time to build that energy. I really need to realize that I paint better in layers. Like, it'll start off as a worse idea and an ugly kind of scene, but it'll build and it'll build and it'll build, and all the layers kind of add it. Even the layers that were messed up, that I didn't like, they all add to the final piece. And so starting from the bottom, we have layers with the tree that used to be sand. That used to be sand, that used to be so many things. This mountain cliff is at least 6 layers of paint. You can actually see that there's wrinkles and texture here because there's so many layers of paint. With the girl, her outfit developed. The glow that I used with some iridescent purple from Golden Acrylics. But this little sheen that it gives it mist and things. But that wouldn't have happened without the layers. The tree glow and just all the little magic numbers, even the little moon, that took so much time to get here. I feel like you can tell that she is emotional right now. She's leaning so far back in her stance. She's like back bending in her stance right now. You see close up to her face, her eyes are closed. And really, most of this is not even detailed work. It's indications with the paintbrush. But every little layer, it really just does something. And so, yeah, that's the piece. I learned a lot. I learned not to take myself so seriously and to respect the process with this piece. And I continuously have to remind myself, especially this last year, that I have a process that I need to understand and respect it. It's going to be like not the best. I hate to keep saying that it was ugly, but it just felt so good to me, you know, because it wasn't where I wanted to be, especially when I had such a clear vision for it. But like, I think we can agree the first one is not as good as the last one. I think we can all agree at that point, right? So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Marnise Nicole, and I'll be back with more videos. All right, bye guys.